and welcome to another video tutorial. My name is Britta Spoderski and today I'm going to be showing you some color mixing with Hero Arts neon inks. I've done a card that I showed on my blog a couple weeks back where I incorporated this really awesome look, and this only took two colors, this red, or the pink and the blue from Hero Arts, and it also created the purple that you see here. So I'll link to the blog post where I talked about this in the description below the video, as well as on this blog post. But I also created a kind of color chart seeing which neon inks go well with neon inks as well as other Hero Arts inks, kind of trying a few things out. My favorite one was definitely the neon pink and neon blue, but also a really good option would be neon yellow and Tide Pool, which is a mid-tone shadow ink. And neon pink and neon yellow were pretty fun too. So I'm going to be doing something kind of crazy and making a card that uses these two inks with these stamps. This set was designed by Terry Anderson for Technique Tuesday, and it's called With Flair. And they're these really cute images that fit within a 1-inch circle punch. So I'm going to be stamping 9 of them out. Maybe 12. Maybe I'll do 12 just to start out with. Then punching them out with this and then creating a card with that. I'll show you what I'm going to do though. I'm going to base all of them with this pink, or with this heart stamped in neon pink. So the base feeling of the card will be kind of this cute heart thing. And since these stamps are pretty sassy, it's really great to go with the neon ink. Now that I have 12 hearts stamped out, I can actually just set my pink neon ink aside because I'm done with that for now. But I'm going to go in with the Hero Arts neon blue ink and stamp over top of these to create the same effect that you see here on this card. So I'm going to go in with the ampersand and the OMG and the arrow and create this really fun pattern doing equal amounts of both. So I'll do the ampersand over the top of these, the OMG over the top of these, and the arrow over the top of these. And you could choose any of these stamps you want. Even the high would work really cute. Actually, I think I'll do the high instead of the OMG because I don't really know what occasion this will be for, but it'll be a fun one, that's for sure. So I'll just stamp these in neon blue over on top of the neon pink hearts. And you'll see here, it's important that you don't line them up exactly perfect. And that's okay if you do. That's the really fun part, is that you'll be able to see the blue and the pink. See that circle there is now purple, and it's actually perfectly purple. I lined it up like way too perfectly. But you can do it as like perfectly or as imperfectly as you want, and just have fun with it. And so you get this really great 3-color look using only 2 inks. So I'm going to finish stamping out the rest of these and I'll be back in a second. So now that I have all of my blue stamped out, and you can see that I kept all of these the right side up, but then did the arrow actually going around in 4 different directions diagonally just to create some movement. I'm actually going to go in and just cut these apart just roughly so that I can punch them using my circle punch. And that's why I kept kind of a big space in between each one of the circles so that I could really get my punch in there and not worry about the white space overlapping at all. So now I'll just flip my punch over and I can look through it, line it up, kind of hold it halfway down, halfway punched. And that way you can kind of get a grip on the paper before you fully punch down. And then just pull the lever. And there you have a perfectly punched circle. So I'm just going to do that for all 12 of these. So now that I have my circles punched out, I just laid them out on my work surface here to kind of figure out what direction I wanted to put them. And notice that I have all of the arrows pointing towards the inside because when an arrow points off the page, your eye goes off the page. So I tried to keep the eye moving within the composition. It's just something to keep in mind when you use arrows. And I'm going to start putting my card together. When I use neon ink, I try to really make the card simple and easy because you don't want to overpower it. You already have really bright ink and some really graphic stamping. So I'm just going to make it as simple as possible by adhering these onto the card. And I'm actually going to do a border punch. This is the Scallop Sentiment border punch by Fiskars across the bottom. And you just do this by lining it up after you punch it once in the middle, and then punch it on the other side, and you'll be good to go. Now I can just add this little white strip to the bottom of my card, and I can do that by adding some adhesive across the top of this strip, and then adhesive to the bottom of my little scallops here. Then you just place your piece of paper down at the bottom of your card so that it lines up just right, and then you just close it and press down. This just adds a little bit more flair so that we don't have to add any more right next to all of the graphic fun of the stamping. So now I'm just going to adhere each one of these down with some foam adhesive. I've adhered down my little circles with foam squares, and now I think everything is pretty well centered. And by the way, I started with the top one and used the lines actually on the heart stamp to make sure everything was straight. If you wanted, you could do them a little bit crooked. I think that'd be cute too. But I use those as a point of reference. I think I want to trim off just a little bit on the sides. So I'm going to move my craft sheet out of the way and onto my cutting mat here, where you can see this is a cutting mat. I just get it from the crafting store, the big box store. I believe this one is the Alvin brand. Yeah, it's Alvin. And it's 23 inches by 17, I want to say. 16 inches, and it's really great for having as a base because I like to do a lot of cutting with an X-Acto knife. Then I'm just going to trim about 1/8 of an inch off of each side using my Tim Holtz ruler, which makes it really easy to line up because there's a grid actually on the ruler, and my Tonic craft knife. But you could also use a paper trimmer if you wanted to just trim off a little bit that way. But this way I know that I'm making it perfectly even. So I've just trimmed off the edges so that everything is even around the outside, and then I actually rounded the bottom corner with 1/8 of an inch corner rounder, which this is a newer one of the corner chompers that rounds 1/8 and 3/8 of an inch, kind of a different take on the corner rounding that's very popular these days. So the end result is a clean and simple card that uses a lot of fun and pizzazz but doesn't completely overwhelm you. I know that a lot of people are interested in neons right now, so this is one really great fun way to use them, especially when you use these two inks together because it creates such an awesome printed purple effect when the two colors mix together. So make sure to check out my blog post in the link below for more details about this card, and there's also a link to the supply list of everything that I used on this card and where you can find it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you again next time on another video tutorial.